Love is energy, but we often overlook this fact. However, this does not mean that love is calculated as physical energy. I believe that it would be great if we could actually observe love as a physical phenomenon. Many people think that they cannot express their overflowing love or that their love is not recognized by others yet. But this is not love. The appropriate word for describing that state is self-esteem. Most people use the word self-esteem to package love. However, the love that I am talking about is not that kind of love. Love is both transcendent and immanent. It pervades the universe but does not belong to it. This is why we say that we can transcend the universe with love. Love is similar to a state, constantly emanating and manifesting itself. It is like the pleroma. Love is the energy of the pleroma and is the basic component of the pleroma itself. When we talk about love or teach about love, we subtly position ourselves as people who love or understand love more than others. Location is an illusion that exists both in the universe and in your perception. True love and the pleroma do not exist in any location. Enlightenment is neither a location nor a state, yet it manifests itself in this entire universe. Love is the energy and substance of the pleroma. Love has no weight, yet it is heavier than any element. Love does not exist on a dimensional plane. So let us be clear that higher dimensions do not signify higher love. Love is not of dimension. And love that has dimensions is egoic love, which determines its differences and hierarchies under the names of morality, ethics, and compassion. Sometimes I see people who are shaken when they witness the journey of enlightened teachers. They do not realize that they are looking at the teacher from the perspective of egoic love and its location. In reality, from their perspective and egoic love, the teacher may be unsatisfactory. However, they do not know the transdimensional love, true love, love that occupies no location. Love cannot be named. Love simply exists. Pleroma is made of love. Although the birth and origin of the universe may have beginnings and endings, pleroma is the world of true enlightenment that exists purely with love, without any beginning or end. If you can feel the subtle sensation that comes with the word love, you are blessed. However, when we speak of love, our egos tend to think that we know all about love and that there is no one who knows love as well or is as sensitive to it as we are. That is a significant obstacle. Because of this belief that we know love, we lose love. Love is indeed something that belongs solely to the soul, but at the same time, it is not exclusive to the soul. As explained above, egos also define their own love through virtues such as mercy, morality, and patience. We have destroyed love by sharing the same words. Our universe is a place of self-esteem, not love. The saying that everything that exists deserves to be loved represents our universe. Love is not enduring or gentle. The love of Paul and the love of Jesus are fundamentally different. The former speaks of egoistic love, while the latter speaks of true love. The former emphasizes love between society and family members, while the latter breaks everything down. However, we cannot impose the latter on egos. It is foolish to tell a fish to live in the mountains. In order for a fish to live in the mountains, it would have to undergo an enormous process of evolution. That is what spirituality is doing now. However, that may not be possible, and it is a very foolish thing to do. And even if we evolve and reach the mountain, it will not be the same mountain. Realizing that the beings that were originally in the mountains and going back to where they originally belonged is enlightenment. It is a journey of enlightenment to realize that the hometown that we thought was non-existent and the mountain that we thought had disappeared were always there. In some ways, we need alchemical transformation. Our ultimate transformation is to realize that we are beings who were on the mountain and to return to that existence. Not for fish to turn their scales into leather and their tails into legs. Our spirituality is now involved in the absurdity of fish becoming mermaids and those mermaids trying to become human again. Here, where self-esteem has turned into love, hope no longer exists. We firmly believe that fulfilling our self-esteem and the self-esteem of others is love, which is full of the energy of pleroma. This is different from the state of the etheric energy. The ether is what we conceptually think of as energy. It contains the vital force that forms the material of the universe, but it is not wisdom or complete energy like the energy of love in Pleroma. Pleroma exists as the energy of love, and our universe consists of etheric energy and the breath of God. If we mistake etheric energy for love or life, many crossroads appear. This is where the mystery of spirituality and the energy flow spoken of in mysticism are confused as love. As material of Pleroma, love will reveal itself to you when all darkness disappears. Here, the word, you, is incorrect in some ways. Since you yourself were made of darkness, love is revealed where you have disappeared. You can still recognize love even though you have disappeared. Only the true soul can understand this. The weight of energetic love is heavy, but it also has a weightless lightness that carries nothing. It is faithful and true in itself, and it blazes. It lacks nothing and overflows. Love simply exists as love. The true soul and love are inseparable. The true soul is made of love, born in love, and love is its faithful state. It is very difficult to explain, but the true soul can actually deal with love. The phrase, deal with love, may sound magical and risky, but it is actually true. It is not that it should not be spoken of as dangerous. However, it can also be said to be safe. This is because ego can never deal with love. No matter how much humans evolve, they will not be able to discover the substance called love. They do not even accept the fact that they were born from darkness, and consider all ethics, morality, and good deeds as love. What they are given is a heavenly like earthly world. However, the true love cannot be found there. Evolution is of the ego in this world. Love is always perfect in itself. All of love in the Pleroma is always whole. If the true soul appears to evolve and grow, it is only because the darkness within itself is disappearing, revealing a brighter light. All of our consciousness is material. The reason why everything we imagine comes true is because imagination itself belongs to the material. Our universe is a material universe created by the consciousness and intention of God. The body is the individual consciousness materialized. The light body of the Pleroma is made of love. Just as consciousness formed the material body, love created the light body of love. However, we have lost the process of true love unfolding by trying to force it into the universe. Love creates the soul, and the soul drives this grand and beautiful cycle. We have lost this cycle. Thankfully, the soul cannot completely forget love. It is impossible to forget. The soul, cast into the material universe, is like a lost child stranded in the middle of the desert with no water. It survives by the occasional dew in the morning, believing that the sporadic dew is love, and living the life of a missing person in the desert. The darkness of the material universe cannot be emphasized enough. No matter how much it expands, it cannot match the vastness of the Pleroma. And no matter how light the material is, it cannot imitate the lightness of love. We must step out of the delusion that we belong to the material universe and move the foundation of our existence to the Pleroma. The giant delusion of the body perpetuates our conscious universe. The giant center of the body continues to inject God's consciousness into us, convincing us that we are important parts of the material universe. God can appear great, mysterious, and magnificent from the perspective of human beings. In reality, God is the creator of our consciousness and body. However, the soul is not a creation of God. The true soul is made of love alone. Consciousness and body are not love. Love is the practical component of the Pleroma that transcends any consciousness or greatness. Love is the expression of the soul, the substance of the soul, and everything in the Pleroma. Love reaches us from beyond the material universe, and each individual true soul is both a receiver of and love itself towards that love that comes from beyond the material world. However, the difficulty lies in finding this love, like a small jewel hidden within a very thick blanket. But it is an unchanging fact that love is there, and it is also true that we must search for it to make that love shine. Deus, who knows both of these truths, uses them to maintain his universe. Deus children take turns proclaiming themselves as workers for humanity or the universe. The characteristics of each god are also a part of Deus, and they are all darkness. They know very well that they are darkness. They know very well that they cannot withstand the love of the pleroma, and they extremely hate it when a human tries to awaken. An unawakened human is insignificant, but an awakened human penetrates through the entire universe. It is the penetration of love through the illusory universe. So they prevent anyone from awakening by using a clever method of confusing desire and love. The gods are only divided into those who are friendly to humans and those who are not. Within us exists a gene that fears and worships the gods. This is a common component of DNA. It is truly unfair and frustrating that there is a genetic tendency to fear and worship something. Such a factor binds us and prevents us from leaving this universe. However, wise people will realize that this is not so different from the animal world. They will realize that the hierarchy of animals and the peaceful era that follows it is all there is. If we realize this, everything in this universe will be put in order. Love in the pleroma has no purpose or intent. Anything with intent is always the work of darkness. A person who has awakened perfectly through love has no intent. They simply manifest themselves through love. It may be difficult to accept the fact that love is the fundamental building block of the material universe, like the air we breathe without being conscious of it. The true essence and manifestation of love is the soul itself. We breathe love, express love, manifest love, and reveal only love. Love in the material universe moves within the food chain. When we encounter someone we love, we may package it as wanting to become one. But in reality, we want to devour the entirety of the being we love and fatten ourselves. This ruthless love is the predator-prey chain that is happening at this very moment. In the material universe, and for living beings, what is necessary is energy, food. Nothing is more important than that. No matter how noble the universe may seem, it is just various forms of energy struggles. Touching love means escaping the world of energy struggles. To cease all struggles, physical, energetic, and conscious, and return to the void is the most noble liberation of this universe. Can humanity stop the energy struggles that happen under the name of love? No. Even if it is possible to stop them materially, humanity will not stop the conscious and spiritual struggles. Only souls that have manifested true love and have been nourished by it will be able to escape the energy struggles and reach the true world of love, their homeland. True souls will never belong to any form of love on this earth because they carry true love in their hearts. Leaving this miserable world of predator and prey to reach the true world of love is truly a noble and precious act. There is nothing more foolish than living for a